Welcome back, MTG Joe here. Today we are going to be trying out a Winota deck in Timeless. We're going to be playing it in best of one. There's a sideboard for best of three. I usually just like doing best of one just to jam a few more games in, but you can take it to best of three if you'd like. Just faster, I find. And the ladder reset, so we'll just get out of the rank, try to get up a little. But this deck here is from LRM3 on Twitter that I saw it. We made one change in the main. This is a 4-color Winota deck, 5-color, that we're leveraging Neoform to find Winota. The only change I made, they were playing 2 Will Packbound Duelist. I just swapped it for a Kenrith because I don't have another mythic that I want to spend on Will Packbound Duelist. But Will comes in, 5 mana, 4/4, specializes, or comes in, you get to gain control of target artifact or creature an opponent controls. You can specialize. And then it becomes something else as well. And then you just get some value. We'll deal with specialize as it comes up. I know folks they hear the word specialize in alchemy and they run to the hills and run to Reddit to write posts about how it's ruining magic. But basically this steals a card, gets it out of the way. There's a lot of thief abilities with Agent of Treachery, so we get some value. The kind of core of the deck though is you're making a lot of non-humans. Through like your Delighted Halfling, your Deathrite Shaman, your Bowmaster makes 2 bodies, Sanguine Evangelist makes 2 bodies, Lord Skitter can make multiple bodies, eats away at the graveyard, Season Pyro, same idea, and then Winota comes in and gets us a whole bunch of humans, which is our top end threats here. Neoform lets you turn any, so you can sack like any other creature, so search your creature for mana value equals to 1 plus that creature's mana value. And then you can basically take any of your 3-drops and it becomes Winota. So you get that value there. So you kind of just always find your Winota, so you effectively have 8 copies provided you have a 3-drop out there. Your fetch lines help enable your mana. This makes your Winota uncounterable, so a lot of cool stuff there. Sideboard, Veil of Summers in here for protection, Weather the Storm, First the Storm, Necropotence decks. The one thing I changed was they had Arena in the sideboard. I don't have that. It's the Aftermath Orzhov 2-drop that you could sack it to give your humans indestructible and hexproof. I played a second Strict Proctor for any ETB style effects. And then another Skyclave Apparition I put in here instead of the 3rd Minskin Boo, which I also don't have. Times are tough. We've got 4 rare wildcards, 2 mythics, and I'm saving up for natural orders. So we'll give this one a shot. The ladder literally just reset, so I wouldn't stress about that, but we want to see how this feels. Usually you'll see Naya Winota that goes into the 6-mana hunt, like the Werewolf Huntmaster. You could sometimes see Angrat's Marauder to double up, but I usually prefer like the 6-mana one's not too bad because it enables more tokens and it's kind of a self-contained win con. The Angrat's Marauder, while powerful when you're kind of ahead and attacking, if you draw it, it's a 7-drop. That's pretty hard to cast. The Huntmaster is like a threat on its own. That's just basically a 7-mana 4/4 at that point. But we're going to see how our Winota flips work. And really the interesting thing that I always want to test with these Winota decks are how good is the deck when you don't have Winota. Ended up finishing like Diamond 2. We didn't get enough games in, but we will... Let me just check the mana. What do I have? Red, black. I can get a Stomping Grounds. Okay, I can get Stomping Grounds to start off, so we will keep. I could get Overgrown Tomb as well, which might be better. So we'll lead with Halfling. If they have a Fatal Push, I'd rather they kill the Halfling than they kill the Deathrite Shaman. So here I can go red, white. I could do Sacred Foundry that I could cast Evangel, but then I don't have the blue mana. Can also... Okay, so my blue's Steam Vents. I think we just do this turn. Hoping they didn't kill that. Kind of makes this hand a little worse, but I don't want to be the first to Bowmaster either. Drawing a second copy of this feels pretty bad. Hopefully they just tap out for like Goyf or something. This way I can... Okay, so DRC comes down, could see like a Fatal Push or something here. We do. So that will put instant sorcery. I do think here, I'm going to end up getting the Steam Vents here, I think. Just because we have 2 and I'm likely going to Neoform. I'm doing this now so they can enable Delirium. Needed another land. Both our Dorks getting killed kind of sucks. Okay, if they don't have an answer, I can... It's kind of fine, because I have 2 Neoforms. Gonna go get Season Pyro because it can help us draw. Okay, that's fine. Trying another Kenrith isn't great. We'll get Seasoned here. Hopefully find a land drop. I'm gonna keep the Neoform. Because Neoform can let me get Winota next turn. Okay, so they're Rakdos Breach. We might be dead here. Supplier. Supplier. I milled over a breach there. Interesting decision to breach there. They ran out of mana, so they actually had a very good hand. They should have just played one of the Stitcher. You play breach, you play the, and then you could kind of get going. They misplayed that, but I think they win from there. We'll take it. But 2 DRCs, removal, Thoughtseize, 2 Stitchers, and that, like, 2 lands, you're golden with that. So we'll see with that. So the mana is a little bit precarious with this. You're obviously trying to do Neoform. Mind you, if either of our Dorks lived, the hand's actually very good. Okay, so this hand we're going to mulligan. We don't want the agents. This hand is very good. We're gonna put back probably a land, I would say. Because we have Once Upon a Time here that could basically find us a land. And if not, like even just the Evangel kind of tokens plan works pretty nice. So let's see what we hit here. Probably gonna just get Sacred Foundry here. We're gonna get the Overgrown Tomb. Didn't necessarily want to go like another fetch. The mana base gets a little painful. Then next turn I can Sacred Foundry tapped. Also have the options of just getting Evangel going, which is nice. Which I think we will. So we'll exile this. Again, I don't necessarily want to be the first to Bowmaster. And even if they kill Evangel, it's giving me multiple bodies. This could be Dimir control, could be a couple different decks. All right. Deck's so strong, they don't even let us get to turn 2. Not sure what they kept, but we will take these. Gold gamers, you do anything to disrupt them in any way, instant. I'm not sure what hand they kept. Could have been they just didn't hit land and they're holding off. They didn't fetch, so that's probably what it was. The Evangel also getting picked off by Bowmaster. Like, this deck's kind of soft to Bowmaster with all the card draw. But it might just be that you go over the top. Kenrith giving trample's nice. Want to at least do the thing. Opponent goes first. They're on Luris. This hand really doesn't do much if they kill my halfling, and because we're on the draw, they have like Regavan. This also gets hit by Bowmaster. I think we mulligan. We're gonna keep 6. We're gonna put back Agent of Treachery. We're gonna try to find a 1-drop. I shouldn't have done that yet. You're supposed to draw first. That was silly. So the proper thing to do is to draw first. We'll hang off. Hand's very sus. I'm not going to do this yet, so because I don't want them to get the mana. Honestly, like, not loving the Neoforms. Okay, so got the mana anyways. Since they're Luris, they're not Blood Moon, so we don't need to worry about that. They're probably just Jund Midrange. See if they want to get rid of Kenrith. Not having a 1-drop. Maybe we should have kept that first hand. Okay, they got rid of Season. They already have the Lion, so it doesn't make much difference. Let's just get Overgrown here. Our hand's really not to throw. Triple. Well, maybe they have no more action. We need something. Like, if we draw a 3-drop here into Winota, maybe. Because, like, even deathrites now that they have 3. So here, get the Sacred Foundry. Oh, how about another Neoform? Love that for me. Questing Druid, not what we wanted to see. Let's just... They're going to have too much value. DRC into that. Like, they're going to take my Winota if they didn't have the discard, but I need to hit both lands there and creatures to do anything. So when you draw more Neoforms than anything, not going to do much. Bad draw. Honestly, if we were able to keep that Pyro there, then maybe, because then you ditch 2 of them, you make 2 tokens, Winota and tap. Like, you technically have the top deck to hit a Pyro, but at that point, you're still, like, so far behind. Time is short. Let's jump into another game. It's best of 1. There's no sense of, in gold rank, playing to your, like, 2% outs when it's this. Opponent 1. Could probably keep this. Gonna lead on halfling, I think. Again, I'd rather the halfling die. So they have bamboo, so this is stop drawing agents. Here want a green source that also hits white, so it's probably Temple Garden. And then I can get Steam Vents. So we'll do this. We'll do this. We're going to take them off natural order. We might be getting natural order this turn. Ripping Winota would have been good there. Titan. Bit frustrating that that was the line they had left over. The problem is we're also 1 short here. We're going to exile that, deal some damage. So here, oh no, that won't work. Second. Winota. Not Winota. Don't think we're on another. So that hits me my next land drop, which then also fuels agent, but then I'm a little far behind. So I do think we need to go Evangel here and then just try to naturally draw into it. Probably too far behind here. Didn't hit Winota. Also saw way too many agents. Thing to note, they have a blast zone up. They could potentially gum up the board quite a bit. They go port here. No blocks. So port can reanimate Titan if needed. Part of the problem too is because we have these both here, it makes subsequent Winotas worse. Yeah, and then them hitting a fetch land there is pretty rough. I just want to see if we hit Winota. No. So far, it's kind of clumsy. You don't hit Winota, it's a little awkward. And like going in, I don't know, the 6 drop seems a little more obtainable than the 7 drop. A lot of that turn though is like if they don't have that land, they don't have the second natural order target. We dealt with the first one. So we had a good start, but they needed their 1 of land there. Okay. We go first, we have agent, we have a bowmaster here. This Rakdos burn. No blocks here. Weird sequencing, but sure. So mana's a little awkward because I do need to get black source. So black source being overgrown tomb. I mean, the worst case, they're kind of incentivized to kill deathrite here. They have 2 burn spells, it's a little rough, but their mana base is a bit painful. We're gonna have to hit like a land at some point. Like if this is double burn spell, we're in a rough spot. Okay, keep us fine. Can soak up 3 points of damage. But I think we just take it this turn. Land. Land off the top. Land off the top. Yeah. We need a white source here. Now we just hope that we don't whiff. Decent Pyro is actually really solid here because it gives me more blockers. Steal that. Okay. I mean, we might be dead. Just from burn. They have 3 burn spells, I'm dead. 4 cards in hand. Don't think they can deal enough damage to me. Looks like they're 1 short. Agent to take a land would have been the better line, but this just steals the creatures. Okay, 3 face. Three face. Let me do it. That was reasonable. The mana base is the most laborious thing about this deck, just being like, oh, do I just die from my mana? Been kind of mixed feelings so far about this one. Nah, it's too risky. Sounds great. Keep halfling that. This is an interesting one. So we're going to keep. I wish we could have kept 7. So this helps me dig for Winota. I could put back a land. We probably put back a land, because worst case, I just use this to find said land. I think this is the same player that we just lost to. So here I'm gonna get blue-red. Actually, probably better off deathrite. So I did that just to kind of thin out my deck. This being the 3 toughness one's a lot worse. Okay, so we have scrying here. So we could get natural order next turn. Gonna be another game of whether or not we find Winota. We'll eat at theirs, make a white mana. This gives me more bodies for the following turn, plus at least I can start putting some pressure with Battlecry. Yeah, so they do have natural order. Always on curve, turn 3, every single game. Like, our matchup shouldn't be terrible against this, provided we have Winota. They don't interact with our board. And like, Bazooka Bog's whatever here. Oh my god. Stop drawing lands. Okay, we got, again, 1 turn. 1 turn to make this count. Winota off the top, one time. They hit Blast Zone again. No blocks. Like, just naturally hard cast. Gain 5, get a shield counter. Nope. Oh, I forgot to cast this anyways. Can we just have like one game where Winota's there? Like, this is the problem with this type of deck, I find. When your cards are kind of synergy based, and like with them, natural order always finds it. With us, we have to leverage a Neoform, which then we need a specific 3-drop. So like they just kind of play the course of their game. Their accelerants find them their next piece anyways, so it's not really the end of the world. We go first. We're keeping this. It's going to find us a 1-drop. I feel it. What'd I say? They're not going to have a removal spell. I said you're not going to have a removal spell. Okay, well, we need to try to stick this. They tainted pack? No, they wouldn't be because of Jingantha. So there's Zoo or Sultai. Probably Sultai. Deathrite. Deathrite. So here, I'm gonna get the white from that. So let's go breeding pool here. Actually, I'm gonna take away their lands here. Gives them less mana. Like I know I have a land in my graveyard, but it is one less piece. Hopefully they just like Oko here. Okay, so they have Bowmaster. So here, let's get Steam Vents. Okay, so Lapse comes down. Maybe we should have Deathrighted and had Bowmaster up. Okay. No second answer, so. Presented the threat. They didn't have the end. They had the initial, but Counterspell would have been better there. Give it one more. See how it plays out. I think we're like... What are we at? 4-3. Not great. usually want a little bit more consistent of a win rate. Mind you, we've lost to Titan twice where a Winota off the top would have done it. Opponent goes first. I think we try this. Probably Zoo. So I went with this. I can set up. I really hope they don't kill it this turn. I need to get this to stay alive. If there's Zoo, it's fine, but they Niv. Okay, we found Winota. Just need a line drop. I want to save my life for now. And then they probably eat my land from my graveyard anyways, so it makes it a little worse. Just hit the Evangel. Okay, we have to ferry. Right, that's fine. Here I need red. So we'll go Stomping Ground here. Problem is I can't even like double there. I can Neoform next turn like this, and it gives me more bodies. And even if they have a sweeper here, it's not as bad. Because if I'm not certain yet if they're on Clarion or not. Yeah, they're Niv Mizzet Reborn. So line would be the best. Especially because they just hit Clarion here. We'll get Winota. Agent of Treachery, take Niv. Whiff. Territorial Kavu. And then we hit a land, upkeep Bowmaster. The One of Plains did kind of screw us over, but we'll get enough done that way. All right, that wasn't too shabby. The tempo play from that Teferi, not enough. We take these. One of Plains to make it so you can fetch through Bloodmoon. I kind of want like a basic mountain or forest, I think, instead of the Beseju. Most of the time, like against burn, you might want it. We got Bowmasters. Fortunately, with this, I can't get a white source. And I need to get the black source regardless, so let's see. Lead with this. Deathrite. Perfect. This also means I don't have to fuel Deathrite. And then with this, I can get Sacred Foundry. Fortunately, can't get Steam Vents. Like a turn 2 Lord Skitter, especially when they led with Forest, is going to be pretty solid. So that'll get him a Sacred Foundry. Would have been nice to snipe off Nakatl here. They might have Bowmaster here. Or just Bolt. Tribal Flames, you got it. Fortunate. I can't get another black source here, so. And especially the way that their mana's a little awkward. Kavu here. They could have Bolt regardless. The land into the graveyard enables it. This does allow them to Bowmaster my Bowmaster. Leyline Binding. Sure. We will get Sacred. Sanguine's pretty good. For the follow-up turn, like if we draw Winota, we're to the races. I think we give ourselves a second turn here. Okay, well, if they're gonna do that, gladly trade here. I need to be mindful Like if they have Lightning Bolt, Tribal Flame, I can't do anything about it. Not what I wanted. I think we need to be somewhat aggressive here. Just take out the Wild Nacatl here. Gives me another blocker. Bowmaster for one of my Bowmasters. Couldn't play around that anyways. It's interesting that they chose not to flash that into block. Once again, I'm just asking for a Winota. So they don't loot there. I think I need to do this just to stay alive. Okay, to hand. Not what I wanted. So they can fetch for a green source here. Babu's slightly bigger there. So I'm going to probably block with Evangel here. Actually, I probably shouldn't with Evangel. Block with Bowmaster here. Because if I block with Evangel, then it means Neoform gets turned off. I need to play to all my outs here. Honestly, even at this point, Once Upon a Time's not too bad. Winota off the top, 8%. Neoform, 8%. Once Upon a Time increases my odds. It Will's not terrible. So I can take this. I can take Deathrite. I take Kavu, that gives me 2 blockers. So we probably just take Deathrite here. What's the blue one do? Doesn't really do much. If Kavu was untapped, it would have been good, but can't do much there. This just gives me a blocker at least. And then again, need to set up Neoform. I could get an extra combat step if we have a red one. Maybe taking Bowmaster would have been right. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to double block on Jingantha. because with this line, they prioritize killing Will. They're using Leyline Binding, they were going to use it regardless. So, nothing to play around there. They had it, so we need... It's too late. We needed some action there. Again, if you're... A lot of this deck is just, do we draw Winota or not? The fair plan doesn't seem that great when you're... when there's like a lot of cheap removal in the format. Like the agents are really tough to cast otherwise. Okay, let's go Wooded Foothills. This hand looks good. Or sorry, Overgrown Tomb. Deathrite. If they have the removal on one. Get Steam Vents with this one. We got Crazy Boy. Hey, Winota, 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 Winota. So you can finally see how this works when we actually draw Winota. We do have one agent in hand. So this is the Fabled Mirror Breaker version. Ideally with Agent, we want to steal their lands. Thank you. Boo, whiff, boo. Maybe we should have taken Castle Garenbrig. We'll get 3 triggers next turn. Could see Natural Order. Yeah, if we hit another agent there, we would have been okay. So we do have Bowmaster, Kalani Garden, so... Do you want to get this out of the way? We're going to keep Winota back. The Will doesn't actually take anything. So we can Season Pyro here or Will. Probably just Season Pyro. There's a chance I can hit another thing from Lord Skitter, but it's probably just death right here. Like, they can pop Blast Zone. We're going to get a lot of triggers. We have one more agent in the deck. We'll have Will that can steal some zombies, so we should be able to get through most of the remainder of our deck. There's also a natural order in there, so we can eat that for 2 damage. Okay, second prime time. That will get 2 Field of the Deads. So they're actually just dead here, so they have to get Radiant Fountain. They get 2 fields. That'll get them Radiant and probably another field. Okay, no Bajuka Bog means they're dead. So they actually saw that line there. Get rid of the natural order line. Kami. So we hit Kenrith. Can cast Kenrith, get haste. In my library, there's a Will, there's an agent. We're better off not casting it. I don't know. Attack all, figure it out. Okay, so we hit the Kenrith. Agent Steel, Primeval Titan. Because this way we can put counters on things. And then with the trample damage, just push through the remaining amount. We have some in the air. Depending on how they block, we get them there. So, not too shabby, not too shabby. So we went 6 and 4. Reasonable, not fantastic, but cool deck nonetheless. Let me know what you think in the comments. We'll catch you next time. Thanks for watching.